that right side of the brain gets deep. And I understand that's what the system never wants certain people to tap into. Trust me. But its true essence is having a balance of both. If you can find that sweet spot of being that imaginative and analytical type of person, you're catching up to something. And most people gravitate to one or the other. You know how they say most males are very logical, so you know you'll have males that will tap more to that left side of the brain, and more women, you know, they always say women got great intuition, they tap into that right side of the brain. So you know, it's just something you gotta look at and be like, ah, I see. But if that very logical male tapped into that intuition and that spiritual side or the imaginary side, they will have a different response to the world. They will have a different experience. And if that super emotional, imaginative person taps into logic and analytical thinking, they can balance themselves out with principles, philosophies, ideas, you know, rules. So in school, I was in a psychology class, right? I took psychology class because obviously I'm into the mind and all of this. So I would be like, you know what? Let me take this psychology class. I took, you know, regular psychology, and you know, it was cool. It was cool because, you know, it was a small introduction to a lot of certain things I liked, and you know, they would show these certain videos, and you know, we'll do these certain experiments, and you know, tap into different realms of thought, of thinking. But then after, you know, I was done with that, I was like, you know what, all right, let me continue this. And the next thing of psychology in my school at that moment was AP psychology. So that was like, you know, the college level course of psychology. And I took that, and that was the stupidest course I've ever taken in my life. The basic one was way more interesting and better than the one that was supposed to be the college course, quote unquote. And it wasn't the teacher per se, but it was just the curriculum and how much work and how much studying you had to do. And it was less doing. It was more about reading the book, copy and paste, book, test, book, test, book, test. It got to the point I didn't even go halfway through it. I was probably like, what, the first quarter in, and half of that first quarter, I sat there and I literally told the teacher, I said, I'm gonna be honest. I was like, I'm not about to do any of this work. I literally told the teacher this. I said, I'm not about to do any of this work because I can already tell what kind of course this is. I said, I came here to learn something. I didn't come here to remember things for a test. She's like, well, if you do that, you're gonna get a bad grade. I was like, all right, bet. Well, then I'm gonna get a bad grade. And I failed that class because I didn't do anything. I just sat there, and there would be glimpses and moments of inspiration of, oh yes, all right, this is a good nugget. This is something good I could learn from. But then after that, it was nothing. It was just like, okay, we're gonna read this packet and do a whole test on this packet. And I was just like, I got tired of it. I wasn't even messing with it. But that's what school is like, and that's what school will always be. Versus if you go to a trade school, you know, after high school, you go to a trade school, you're literally learning how to do something with your hands, or whatever trade that may be. It's a hands-on thing. You're learning, you're experiencing it instead of reading about it. And that's where a lot of people mess up, because they got trained since they were little to read about things instead of do it. And that's why we got a lot of people, you know, once they get out of high school, they don't know what to do themselves, because all school has taught them is to copy and paste, to remember. they forgot how to experience. So, you know what I did? I said, F school, F all of this. This is what it is. College. I'm not saying college is bad, but I'm like, why go there when I could just go get a book that tells me what I want to know? And that's what I started to do. I started to go outside of school and really get books I was interested in and wanted to read. And man, oh man, was that the best decision I ever made in my life. Until this day, I read on a daily basis.